Every time you buy a coffee, pay your rent, or cancel a subscription, you are casting a vote. Not a political one, an economic one. And millions of those votes added together decide whether businesses hire or fire, whether wages rise, and whether the economy grows or stalls. Economists have a name for all of it: consumption. And it is the single biggest force in almost every economy on Earth. And here is how it actually works. Consumption is simple to define. It's the money households spend on goods and services. Your groceries, your rent, restaurants, clothes, fuel, haircuts, streaming. If a household is paying for it, that's consumption. And now, here is why it matters so much. An economy's total output is measured by something called GDP, the value of everything a country produces. And in most developed countries, consumption is the largest single piece of that number. Bigger than business investment, bigger than government spending, etc., etc. And when you spend, you're not just buying something, you are powering most of the economy. Now let's follow the money for a second. You buy a pair of shoes, that money goes to the shop uses it to pay stuff, restock shelves, cover the rent, the supplier gets paid, so they keep their workers, those workers earn wages, and they spend those wages on their own groceries, their own rent, their own shoes. Your spending becomes someone else's income. Multiply that by millions and millions of people. That's the economy moving, but not all consumption is the same. Economies split it into two types. Essential consumption, that it is the stuff that you cannot really skip, like food, housing, energy, basic transportation. And on the other hand, discretionary consumption is everything else. The restaurant instead of cooking, the holiday, the new phone, the upgrade. And this difference matters because when money gets tight, the discretionary stuff goes first. Essentials hold steady, but extras get cut. So what decides how much people spend? A few levers. Income is the main one. More coming in usually means more going out. Savings act also as a caution because people with this caution tend to spend more freely. Credit lets people spend money that they don't have yet with credit cards, loans, buy now, pay later. Inflation quietly shrinks what your money buys, so the same spending stretches less far, and interest rates change the cost of borrowing. When they are low, credit is cheap and spending tends to rise. When they climb, borrowing gets expensive and people pull back. But there is one more factor, and it's less about math and more about mood. Consumer confidence. If people feel secure in their jobs and optimistic about the future, they spend. If they are nervous, they hold on onto their cash even if nothing in their bank account has actually changed. Confidence turns feelings into spending decisions. Put it together and you can see the two directions an economy can go. When consumption is strong, businesses sell more, hire more, invest more, and that creates jobs and live wages. And this gives people even more to spend. Growth feeds growth, and when consumption weakens, the loop runs in reverse. People spend less, businesses sell less, they slow hiring or cut costs, and that's often one of the earliest signs an economy is heading for a slowdown or a recession. That, by the way, if you want to know more about a recession, here you have a video where I talk about it. But there is a catch. Strong consumption isn't automatically healthy. If a lot of that spending is financed by debt, people borrowing more and more just to keep up spending, it can look great for a while but then turn fragile. When the debt has to be repaid, spending can drop sharply. Growth built on borrowing can reverse fast, and this is exactly why governments and central banks watch consumer spending so closely. It is one of the clearest real-time readouts of where an economy actually is and where it might be heading. Still, consumption cannot tell you everything. It shows you activity, but it not always shows how solid that activity is. Strong numbers can hide rising debt. Weak numbers can just be people being cautious. And it is a powerful signal, not the whole story. So here is the one thing to remember. Consumption isn't just personal, it's structural. Your everyday spending multiplied across millions of people is one of the main engines of the entire economy. You're not just living in the economy, you are part of what moves it. And by the way, if this made consumption click for you, please subscribe to this channel as this helps me keep going. In this channel, we usually break down the forces shaping the economy, one clear idea at a time and in very simple terms. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!